I don't know if I could stream as well. So our game plan right now is like good. We have our power for 0 cost. We're going to toss out Ikuturso, use our leader ability. When it becomes daytime, we can throw our best card, and then we're going to comfortably just challenge the board, Elantris. We've played him before, so he's using artifacts, and we're happy to see Merciless Consiga because this is an artifact killer. Second ability just deals 8 damage. That's almost the top deck we want to see because we're kind of far off. So we use our power to get some scrying going on. We make sure to find a green card because we need to burn green gems. We need to burn 2 green gems to get Hopeless Necromantic online. And we're going to use our Hotel Barkeep to keep our power going. Every time you use your power, so we burn a green card to get the Forge ability. Hotel Barkeep throws out a powerful Ramen. We can use this powerful Ramen to discard the health healing potion that Simozen gave. Oh, we did not here we did not generate our power first because we don't want to empower his creatures to kill ours yet. So that's a green card. So we can burn. We can actually use our power here to discard Born Again. We slap him for 2 free. Ramen, throw away the Necromantic, burn a green card, find a Hopeless Necromantic, put it straight in, and now we've actually used our leader ability. This deck's actually pretty deep. We used our leader ability to empower his card, and it gave us our Ikuturso. He destroyed it using Crimson Pack, takes 9 damage. Now he's at 1 card, and our deck can keep the heat coming. So now we got Consiga going down. Consiga is just going to snipe that easily. Snipe. I think we're going to heal. Yeah, we're going to heal because we don't want to just trade. We trade after we destroy the artifact because we don't want to heal the artifact. And now it's his turn. He's only got 2 creatures up. It's not looking good. He immediately snipes down Consiga because that's pretty dangerous for him. Now we got Gamma Senin coming down. So we're looking great. When you're in this position as Necromantic, it might look terrible because you only have 2 cards in hand, but with the Born Again, we basically can keep on drawing 2 cards per turn. So we're going to generate card advantage, and he has to challenge us here. Let's see what we draw here. So he's going to give this first strike. So we hit that, and we kill that. Oh, and then we get God of Gamers down here. And we're not going to trade. I think we're just going to force him to fight. And he surrenders because he has no cards in hand. We've developed a board that he can't deal with. He's pinned down. That was a great game. Skin Sprout. Thank you, God, for champion. It was not easy. Grinding. Almost lost our mind a little bit. This is like dream hand. We have perfect grade, so we can ditch perfect grade. We're going second. We immediately throw it off. We can use our power for free. Throw perfect grade down. We've got 2 green cards and 2 of them are Necromantics, so we know we're going to get a Necromantic top 3. This is going to be spicy. He has to really have the right card coming down as soon as possible. Plus, we have the Night Market. So this is what you'd call a perfect curve because you have a 1, a 2, and a 3, and we've got our ideal 1. So he's using his ability. We really this season learned how to play around RoI Trickster. We're not going to attack into that because it's for sure what he's come. So we're going to get a Night Market going down and just generate some value. If you're going to be there, might as well do something. So he trades in, and he puts Muse down. So I'm going to get my Necromantic down. I'm wondering where I put my Necromantic. So I actually burned my green. Interesting, because I actually thought, hey, maybe he can remove or bounce this Necromantic, so I'd rather have a second Necromantic as backup. We use Compass to fix our draws. This deck can fix its draws quite nicely using Compass. So he charges in here. Still trade in here, and then I use my gun. And this is the power of the deck. I mean, we're on turn 4 and we have a turn 8 creature, so that's 4 turns early. Just snipe 2 creatures off the board, no problem. Now he's got a major problem to deal with. Now our turn 4 is looking gorgeous. We've got a perfect grade on the deck. We're generating card values with a Night Market. We have our power ability to ditch all these items. We have a Necromantic ready to serve up. He starts to wall us up. He's hoping to find some kind of banish effect. It's gonna be hard. We can just do this shuffle. Just shuffle right. Bam. Use our ability. Use Guterso, snipe probably. And I don't think we're gonna attack on either side because we don't know which one he. We didn't want to attack on either side because we want to generate a value here, and we think he did his negative ability on this. He's gonna charge in, find his necromantic. He has to because he can't. He needs to get here. This card's protecting this tile. Now, this is the situation this deck really thrives in. Both decks have put out all the cards, so he only has 2 cards, right? So how does he draw cards? He's manually drawing 1 card from his deck, and then he's actually going to draw a Wings top. He's going to draw a Daring Repeat Assist from his leader ability. So every 3 kills, we choose out 3 deaths, he can draw a card, right? But us, on the other hand, we can keep drawing cards as long as we have ramen noodles and we have items to throw away. So we're going to be drawing way more cards than him. So we just drew a card right there. We forge. We throw this card here to the right. So now we're starting to get item advantage. And now we're just going to push some damage. The items that come out of the night market has easily made night market like my favorite card. So he does Wings of Abaddon here. I caught him making a mistake here. He played this card for sure, in my opinion. I think he made a mistake. I could be wrong. But I think he actually meant to kill Jinsuk, because he thought, well, I'm in this tile, I can't, but this card is blocking him. So that makes him go like, oh, that's awkward. So what he can do is he can sacrifice and go Immortal, but that's not going to help much. Because Jinsuk is going to be able to, yeah, he said oops, because it's easy. Jinsuk is pretty good. And that's lethal. We had an overkill with another smite. So turn 7. When you have a combo deck that can aggress and put on the pressure on an aggro deck, it can be scary. Now for no scope. You've overcome. And so we're looking at our hand. We're looking good. We're going first. We've got a big card here. We've got a 1-drop, and we've got Night Market, so we're going to immediately put it down. I think the biggest decision isn't do we play the Sniffer. It's do we play 2 Sniffers next turn. Next turn, do we think playing a Night Market's better? I think we made a misplay. Come up soon. Let me see. So 2 Night Markets, 2 Sniffers. It's pretty tempting. So that's a powerful ramen. Every time you see a powerful ramen, that is a card. That is going to be a card later down the road. You can say every powerful ramen represents 2 mana of free ramp. Because it's a free power and the power costs 2. And that discards our big Indrik, so we've got a big card. Now we got 2 Night Markets and 2 Sniffers. This is a problem for the opponent. Now we got 2 ramen, so we generated 6 mana off of the Night Market. So basically another way of looking at this is as soon as your Night Market gives you 1 powerful ramen, you've actually got your return on investment. You've just hit the break-even point because it was 2 mana for the Night Market. Now you've got 2 powerful ramen. So they both paid for themselves. They just cost 1 purple gem. After the first powerful ramen, it's all net profit from there. So we're looking at a 4, and we traded. I think, that had to be a misplay. I think. Can make me new. I made a misplay because I was on daytime, so I shouldn't have attacked there. I had every intention to use my power, and I actually traded my puppy in, and I think my puppy killed himself by attacking a Slayer 1 Panacea that I actually gave Slayer 1, which is a mistake. So at this stage, when we're burning cards, it's like we have 3 purple gems. We want more green gems, so it wasn't a hard choice there. We need some green gems going down. We've got Vixen. It's interesting if you look at this situation. It's looking. We've developed our 2. We've developed Graveyard. We've got mana going. We've got 2 Night Markets going down, but our opponent's got quite a few cards in hand, 2 removals, actually 2 Seals of Exile. And as soon as my opponent burned 1 Seal of Exile, I became confident. I read that he had a Seal of Exile, because I'm pretty sure I get a Necromantic here. And let's see if I remember. Or I get Necromantic pretty soon. Yeah. And then when I get as a choice, no, I definitely get Necromantic as a choice soon. And my choice is to throw it away as soon as I see him burn or seal. If I remember that correctly. So he's trading in. He's got a cannon on the deck. So this is an interesting board so far. So you look at this. Well, definitely can't attack because he put the RoI Trickster. We're looking a little nervous at this stage, but Jinsuk is a good card. So the question is, do we play Jinsuk or is it something better? Traitorous Murmur. I didn't play Traitorous Murmur. That is very interesting. I chose to... Oh, I can't even play Traitorous Murmur. I don't even have... That was a non-choice. There was no choice there. I don't even have the gems to do it. So he's developing on the left side. A lot of Last Gasp. And he actually has an Armageddon Angel in hand. And the Seal of Exile. So, let me pause there. So he burned his Seal of Exile somewhere here. So on turn 5, it said he burned Seals of Exile. As soon as I saw them do that, I was like, bro, there's no way he doesn't have another one. Because Seal of Exile is the main card that you want to have in your hand when you're fighting against Necromantic. So this is the turn where I had that piece of information that he actually burned a Seal of Exile, and I have a Necromantic, and I'm thinking to myself, useless. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to burn it. Traitorous Murmur. Let's be mana efficient. Let's just move on with life. There's no way that thing's going to... Like, because if I actually played that Necromantic, I probably would have just lost the game. Because what was going to happen was I could not play Traitorous Murmur the next turn. He would push 6 damage, putting me in a lot of trouble. And develop threats that I'm not even... So I'm already behind on board. So I think it's critical to stabilize the game. And we're stabilizing the game by just getting Traitorous Murmur action back. It's interesting because he does have Armageddon Angel at this stage. So if he actually chose to play Armageddon Angel at this stage, it might have actually been very interesting. Because in hindsight, looking at what he has, if he played his Armageddon Angel, I'm in trouble because I've got 3 pikes. Whereas what would have happened is he would have traded into here and he would have cleared the board, and he can just fight for my night markets. But he chooses to do another route. I don't think I agree with that. I also don't agree with that either. I think I would have traded and killed Jinsuk. I'm not sure what his strategy was there. There's only... We are able, luckily with the items, allow us to trade up. One way of actually looking at Pike, for those of us who are not familiar, Pike is the same thing as Infuse. If you just think about it, Infuse says give +1/0 until sundown, but Pike gives it to them permanently, and it's 50% of that price. So a square Pike is more than double. It's more than twice as good than Infuse. If you just think about that for a second. So even though Powerful Ramen is a free 2 mana, a square Pike is 1 free mana, but it's actually better than an Infuse because it's permanent and it gets through armor. So Infuse is definitely worse than a square Pike. So just looking at these square Pikes, you basically can see I have 2 Infuses in my hands that are actually better than Infuse, and you can play multiple at the same time. So we pretty much expected that, so that's why we played it in the lane to get Night Market, since we saw him burn it. Took out Jinsuk. We're like, here we're getting a little bit in a hairy situation. We see that he has Sign of Pride, and he has the Pride of Place ready to shut down anything in this lane. So our first plan is like, well, let's just trade damage. And let's just get some Night Markers going. Let's get some powerful Ramens. With you, boom. Oh, the grace reaching out for me. Also, Petmax let us know that do not use your powerful Ramens if you don't have to, unless their opponent has more HP than you, then you're getting double value on smite. Smite does 2 damage if you have more life in them. Like if I use a smite if I attacked him in the smite, I would have done 1 less damage probably. So you want to attack after you smite. Dark Passenger trading in. Let's see, this is definitely... He just burned his Armageddon Angel. I do not agree with that at all. That is a misplay. That is not a good idea. So I think he's a little bit on autopilot at that stage because he has all the mana he needs. If we just look at his deck, I don't think there are things that cost more than that. The most expensive thing in his deck is 5, okay? And what he's going to play is Xerxon Recruiter, and he's going to whiff. And he's going to be like, rip, because you're wasting mana. So you don't burn mana unless you know you're going to need to use it. So he's going to whiff here, and you just burn mana. Oh, he didn't whiff. He didn't whiff. So I'm wrong. But you still floated. He floated 2 mana. And the key here is, why even burn your Armageddon Angel when there is nothing in the deck except 7 Ring Ritual? And you're already at 8. He's at 8. Right? You're at 8. You only need 7. I mean, so like I'm fighting him with 6. So like let's keep that in mind here, is you don't actually need to keep burning mana. Like, so he's more HP, so we're gonna go for our power first. We're gonna snipe, see what we can get. Okay, Ramen's good. I learned how good Bella is so good. Bella is not an early game card that you want to play. Bella is a card that you want to play in this type of situation, in this deck. Because we don't play like any spells. Bella's only used as a stun. She's a 3-turn stun gun. So her job is to just, if you're trading against Necromantics or against anything like this, just keep stunning them. Stop hitting yourself. Just keep stunning them. That's all she's got to do. And we just develop other threats. In that case, we attack before using our Ramen. Doesn't really matter because we were at even life. Ditching a Compass. It's interesting because we ditched a Compass rather than a Pike because we're thinking we want to find lethal because it's close. And we might want to heal. We might want to heal the Hotel Barkeep. So I think this might be his last turn of life. So it might have been... Let's see what his choices were. So he went for priority price to trade. So he's trying to double block us on here because he's definitely looking close to something lethal. Sun. So we're gonna look. It's nighttime, so we can draw. Oh, so not his last turn. He's still alive. So we just get some trades in, heal up our cannon. That partial cannon's doing work. This. Still love me. Bye, Bella. So Indrik Beast has barely been played up from hand on our deck. Oh, we're thinking to ourselves, man, we need to get this perfect grade down. So we draw, I think, the K9. I think we want the K9. Oh, that's lethal. So we found a Eraser and Shadow, charge in, slap some sticks, use our lightning bolts. You overcome. My soul. Is this? We're gonna speed things up now that we got used to what the deck's going. So we've got our green gems. We've got a Simuzin. Throw a Simuzin down. I don't know if that's the correct choice. When I'm reflecting back at this, I have 2 sniffers. Oh, let's slow down. This game got pretty crazy, I think. The thing is, we don't attack because he's been hexed, but we definitely shouldn't be. We definitely should have probably kept 1 Simuzin, I think. So here we played against him. This is like a rematch. We know. If I will rise with you. We made sure to keep it on daytime, just in case we need to trade up. We knew that he has a good card draw, and he could banish our Necromantics. We don't have a very good... This is our first game without a good bottom card. You right my wrong. Can't have a Chinese song. So in this situation, we're not attacking at all because we don't want to tempt fate. We don't really want to see. Well, we don't want RoI Trickster to go off. Plus, the way we're going to win this game, I think, is we're going to just try to grind him down. We can fight for. We're fighting for the board. We're fighting for position. No hurry. I think we have better cards. I think that's another thing to know is like, is our late game better than his late game? Who's rushing to win in this game? And in my mind, he's the one who's rushing to end the game, not me. Ooh, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. And part of that is fueled by the fact that we have a Born Again and a Night Market. With these two cards and these three cards, we don't have the finishing power to really force the issue, but we do have the value engines that will be required to take the game longer and longer and survive. So he's getting a little bit excited, in my opinion. I don't know if he needed to do that. Here's where we develop a Night Market, and we just keep staring at them in the face, not wanting to trade. We're going to do data. Oh, if I was me. Oh, okay, so in this case, I did not use Powerful Ramen because I did not want to give him daytime, because I did not want him to have an ego recoup to easily trade into my Hopeless Necromantic. I did not want him to be able to, for example, trade in and then use a Daring Trapezist, which he was about to draw, and just kill Bella using an Infuse or something. I want him to use more mana. Basically, I'm trying to make him more mana inefficient. I want him to work to kill this. I want him to work to kill that. So here he can't just arbitrarily trade in, right? So he takes that out. I think that's a... I see this and I'm like, ooh, Nine-Tailed Vixen. I think here's where I take a guess. If I'm not wrong, I think I take a guess that la la la, whoa, whoa. I gotta make a song about it. Ooh, ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't actually remember what I do. Maybe yeah. What would I do? Discard Born Again. Draw. Dig. Night Market. Oh. The dog shuffle. Wow, I traded in that Kamadawada, stunned him. Oh, and then I put my Vixen. Oh! And I have mana to... So yeah, when you have no cards, you can discard nothing, and that still works. So. Okay, Born Again. The good news is we stunned it down, so we can get a good trade, a 1-4. It's a good feeling when you trade a 1-drop in the Fortune. And, oh, I also trade Necromantic because I can get her all day, every day with Vixen. This was a little bit risky. I probably could have considered doing that first. Necromantic. Whoa, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. La 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 la. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a little risky to not put Sniffer there, if I'm admitting. But it's interesting. If we actually look at that, so what did he actually play? He just drew and he infused. I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree with that decision because I feel like he needs to develop the Arquebus. But what he's basically letting happen is there's. I even did that. Wow, I'm surprised. I've surprised myself by throwing away a necromantic. When I have this girl here just generating necromantics, I should have kept that. I should have kept that. But I guess I wanted to play. Play that. It's a little surprising to myself. I'm surprised I didn't play the necromantics. But then again, I should have, because I think I should have played the necromantic, because the necromantics would have definitely generated value. They would definitely protect. I played this card. This is the first time I even saw this season. I think played against me in my memory. Caravan Brass. So I was guilty of quite not reading what he does. Draw a card. Oh, perfect grade, dude. He's burning a necromantic for that. It's pretty crazy. Shoot it with a cannon. Oh, there you go. Necromantic right back. Divine Compass. I think each Terminal Patrol. Oh no, Arquebus. Pushing damage. Did I have lethal? Dude, I had lethal. If I'm looking at this, you know, Jinsuk just push everybody, go to the right. Okay, then they did 3 things on the right? That's 4 damage, and then I just pike him with a 2. So this is an example of a good turn, but actually a very bad turn. Hello, Petmax. No. Hello. You could have killed the 1/2 focus. Even if he targets the 1/2 to give it nice to use on the Pokemon. Yeah, the focus and the disc slayer. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm going to actually take a note somewhere. Because I did not know that. I think he would have been surprised too if the opponent did that. But in this situation, definitely missed lethal because that was 2 damage, and then 5. I want to make my music like 10 times louder. So we're going second. So our first thoughts are we're going to discard our biggest card. We're going to discard. This is critical. I definitely misplayed a lot in this game, but if we look at this match in this situation, you definitely want to keep Eraser in charge. So I would burn the 9-tailed Vixen, trade this in, because I want to mess up his Reanimator deck, because he's probably playing Reanimator. Okay, I actually burned that good joke. Interesting. I guess that's okay. But now we're the ones with the big boy at the top, and he's the one with the 1-drop. That's one reason why I chose to have 3 Racers and Shadows, is to give me that option when dealing specifically with the Necromantic Mirror. Is another Sniffer, and we got another Racer and Shadow. Boom! And now, it's pretty impressive how we almost lost this game. But this Racer and Shadow. So we're gonna use Racer and Shadow. We probably should have drawn first. It would have been right to use Smite first, but we didn't. And now it's pretty grim from a necromantic perspective. You're not gonna, unless you have, you could always use. Oh no, it looks bad when it's that deep. So we have the card advantage, and we're both even on gems. We've got the night market coming up, but he has full knowledge of my hand. He used Night Freak twice, and then he played this card, which I'm guilty of not understanding how that card worked and trying to play him. I'm pretty sure when he finally started using this thing, I was like, "Oh shoot!" So we put our night market under our necromantic to give him a compelling reason to contest. A second necromantic on the top. That's looking like we're thinking we're undefeatable. Nothing can beat us from here. And don't have that attitude. It's very bad, as I've learned. Yeah. Like this is not. This is something that I need to be aware of. It's like there's this idea that straight up throwing sometimes, and you need to understand that Trader's Murmur is a card we run in our own deck. So if our opponent, if they run Trader's Murmurs, if we run Trader's Murmurs, it's highly likely pretty much everyone with green runs it almost. So he uses this like. So when I saw him do that, I was like, "What the heck is that?" I was like, "What is that?" And then he Trader's Murmurs with Ecoturso. It's like, what? What? And now we're in this problem. Now this is a problem. You see, that's a 3/3. This is a 2/3, and I made a major problem misclick here. I don't know if it's a misclick or just a misplay. What we should do is kill this thing as soon as possible, right? Kill that. How are we going to kill that? We should probably use our powerful ramen, right? But should we trade? Should we challenge? We don't have any cards. This thing's a 7-drop and that's an 8, and we're at 6 and we have nothing to burn. So we're at nighttime. So if we use power, we're going to discard. So we're thinking, what? Because if we discard, what are we discarding? Probably the pike, right? You never discard ramen. So we move that forward. And I'm pretty sure that was a misplay too. Like, I think I instinctively moved the sniffer to block him when it's actually not in your best interest. I think I did that just because I wanted to get my focus damage and my night. Oh, I also wanted my night market. So I guess it's okay. But then I realized, oh, it's trapped. But that's okay. I think that's okay because of the night market generation. So we used the daytime, and then we're thinking, oh no. Well, I think, honestly, looking back, I think we could have discarded the Vixen. I think it's doable to discard the Vixen. But trading into this is not what we do. We should have used the daytime, discard the pike. I discarded pike, I think. And then, oh, there you go. See, that was the misplay. I clicked my leader ability twice in a row. My brain was saying daytime, trade. Good. Put pressure on 2 fronts. Take away this White Moon Arena. But I actually clicked it twice. And now there's no daytime. And I'm thinking, oh no, what am I going to do? Because he's obviously going to use his leader. He's going to use his ability and kill this. And I'm just like, wait, what did I do? So I'm like, uh-oh, Gallows Boy is getting big. I don't agree with that. I think he should have Gallows Boy. I think you should have done the whole, like, I think he also misplayed right there because he should do it on the 2/3 because he takes no damage because of ward. Because he was going to trade into something. And I mean, what's the difference between trading into the 2? I wonder if that's a misplay. It might even be a conscious decision. I'm not sure. And then when I saw him play this, I was like, oh, dude, what is this? Like, this would have been pretty scary if he had a Necromantic in his deck demise is replaced by another spirit. So this is like a nameless poet revives necromantics, basically. And I'm thinking, this is bad. He's gonna use this the ability to kill Mr. Hotel Barkeep next. Ooh. So we're gonna burn. I think we're gonna burn the canine, or are we gonna play a bunch of canines? It might be possible I just start playing canines. Let's see. I'll burn the canine. So I'm playing Vixen. I'm actually legit playing Vixen here. Okay. Interesting. I guess that's acceptable because I have 2 necromantics. And we didn't trade in because we just felt, look, let's get some items. Also, I can't even trade into it. It would only do 4. He turns me into sheep. I disagree. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't quite understand the sheep turning that into sheep. I mean, he could have burned that for an Indrik. Am I wrong? He could have just burned that for his Indrik Beast. I think I would have played an Indrik Beast. Also, I'm not sure. I think what he's going to do here, I have a feeling he's going to use his ward ability. Like, so what he ends up doing is definitely mind-boggling. So he definitely misplayed here because he's going to trade his Iku Terso with a 2/5. And he just sheeped that. He should have sheeped this, right? Right? And now that come to think about it, he was forced. He played this because he was afraid of lethal. Okay, he was afraid of lethal. That's it. So he uses that trade ability, and just trading into the 2/5. I understand he wanted to stop me from getting an necromantic, but I don't think he needed to lose his 2/5. I don't think he needed to lose his card that way. So we're like, ooh, we got some juicy cards on the top. Also, why didn't he just use his ability to kill the thing on the left? I don't know if I agree with what I did there, because I legitimately just traded in the Gallows Boy and then healed him. I don't really agree with that, because in theory, I could have killed the Indrik Beast, right? I could have killed the Indrik Beast with my Perfect Grade, and then used Short Stack to get back Perfect Grade. It's kind of like kind of strange. But the choice to get a Necromantic is a little weird. At this stage, I was thinking to myself, how many times can we misplay? And then I was like, when I saw this, I was like, wait, what? Wait a minute, that's a 6/6? Destroy an unoccupied. But I then thought about it, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm so next level. My brain was actually thinking, we want him to be at a 9/1 because we're going to play a charging creature. Sorry, an overrun creature who's trample, and it's lethal because 8 + 8 - 1 7. And then we got 2 pikes. And it was like, boom! It almost looked planned. But it wasn't. It was really a combination of strange decisions. And our final match for the set. Before we go for a break, we're going to go over the epic Likety Like versus Petmax defeat. I think that'd be interesting. It deserves to be recorded for all posterity. And I will warn my future descendants of the log. Whenever you see someone who's playing purple, and you're going for lethal, and you're winning on board, respect the log. So we've got Indrik Beast. We're thinking, boom, okay. Look, we've got a Hopeless Necromancer. We're thinking, let's draw a green card. So we got 2 Hotel Barkeeps who are definitely going to help us in the drawing process. Welcome. Play our Ramen. Slap him for 2. Slap him for 1. Scry. Green. And we're like, oh, dude. If he has Seal, we're going to be sad. But if he doesn't have Seal, he's going to be sad. That's like pretty much this the defining aspect of this matchup is, oh, no Seal. You're going to be sad. The moment of truth. No Seal. This I disagree with because he's gonna trade into this. When you're in this situation, I don't think you can trade into. I don't think you can afford to trade into a necromantic. I think what I would do when you see there's an Indrik beast coming, you've got to like stall out, and you've got to start preparing the army. Like you need to start putting cards in the area. I would consider trading the stray Panacea to just see if I can get a seal. But he just traded. I would definitely consider trading this. And I don't know what is the point of dealing with a 3/3. There's a 9/7. I don't Bam! Indrik Beast is like a very scary mutated unicorn rhino. Or you can say cute. I mean, very jaded. With good hair. And we're like, oh boy, it's turn 5. It's turn 5 and you've got the 9-tailed vixen just bringing back hopeless necromantics. And then we're like, does that lethal? It is lethal because you got slap 1, slap 2. Good game to our opponents. So those are our last 6 wins to get to champion this season for Rings of Immortality. Now we're going to look for the game that is probably the most important game of our run. Okay, I'll be right back and get some water. I'm going to watch this in slow motion. Okay, so we're back. So this was an older, admittedly, this was an older build of our deck versus Petmax, and Petmax is definitely a very strong player. He's ranked, as the time of this match was playing, he was something like 500 wins to 100, 500 to 100, 500 wins, 100 losses. He was top, ranked number 1 on the ladder, and I'm not gonna lie. Why do you think my deck is purple green? I looked at what his deck was. I looked at one of his games. I was like, that looks pretty good. That looks scary. I want to try that. And then we just made some adjustments. So this is a mirror match of both same archetype, exact same skeleton, but I will tell you some differences. So first thing, let's see how our hands are looking. So I have the better hand. Am I going first? I'm going first. Oh, I'm going second. So I get going second is a huge advantage, I think, personally, because you get the free toss out and you can develop your 1-drop at the same time. It's really important. This card wrecked us. Just swap, tell it. This card's scary. Like all my descendants must be aware of the Defy Death. This card, what is this? How? Is that from Soul Calibur? That looks like the Soul Calibur sword. That's pretty funny. That artwork's pretty interesting. So we get our night market down, and I think that immediately starts putting us at advantage. His build has more green cards and noticeably has removal. So he has Led Astrays. So we have this little face-off. Both sides just throwing down some night markets and just sitting there, just chilling, just collecting ramen noodles. We're both trying to get the ramen. And I think what we're going to use our power here. Go for Hopeless Necromantic. Burn the Raid of the Tombs. The balance. Take the Racer Channel? I don't think so. Really? Really? I don't agree with Simizim. I don't know if I agree with that decision. I don't really agree with that. Thinking about that. Whether we should have traded into Born Again. So even though so what's going on is he has 2 removal spells. He has Necromantic, but he has nothing good in his grave. He has 2 Born Agains, and we both got Night Markets. So it's pretty even. I've got some Racers and Shadows. Like, I prefer to use my Racers and Shadows are my Led Astrays, basically. But Led Astray is more of an advantage when dealing with Necromantics, whereas Racers and Shadows are good at dealing with people in the early game and just not losing to people who are fast. Am I going to trade again? I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about trading my boys' lives for Born Agains. So we got our Necromantic down. And he's probably like, Led Astray time. Because that Torch Stag's there. So this is Led Astray time? Led Astray and then Born Again is what I would do, yeah. But we got 2 Ramens, so I would definitely say we're advantaged. But look how many cards we have. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 8 cards. There's so many cards. And now we've got our Born Again. So I feel very comfortable. In fact, the theme of this game is I got way too comfortable in a very dangerous situation. So trading. So another Necromantic. I would actually trade. I'm going to use my power again to throw my Born Again. And because he's at daytime, and I want to make sure that he can't get away from my daytime. Oh. Yeah. I'm surprised he's just chilling on the Defied. It's like he's holding on to it. Like he's not burning unless he has to. That's what I'm noticing. Plays Necromantic, but there's nothing there. This is actually where I kind of wish I didn't burn my Racer in Shadow. I think I misplayed here because I should have traded. I should have traded that in. I should have traded that in with the daytime for short stag because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, misplayed. Maybe I misplayed there. Because why? I don't want my Hopeless Necromantic. I want my short stag. In fact, if there is a short stag on the board right now, is he just straight dead? I'm like looking at this. You can't deal with a short stag that easily. Two spears. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Plus, I don't agree with what I did. Yeah. And the problem that I'm seeing is actually with the Born Agains, he can stall out. He has the ability to both stall out. Oh, the reason why I didn't pick up the short stack was because I didn't pick up the short stack because I wanted to play the value game. I wanted to get Morsilos Consiga back. I don't think I wanted to get Trader's Murmur. Oh. And I don't even know if I should be playing that on this. Roller Queen. But now, so he just can't oppose on that side. So we are generating advantage after advantage because we've been holding it, and we've got perfect grade. This is so sad. Like you look at this and you're just like, how can you lose? How can someone lose from this position? I've had. How can you lose? We get the perfect grade. Like look at the hands. Look at the board state. There's another necromantic. I'm proud of myself that I've changed as a gamer a lot. Like in the past, I could not look at games that I lost. Like that's just the truth. In the past, I could not look at games that I lost just because they just made me feel so salty. I made me feel so uncomfortable. So I should be playing things to oppose those lanes. Did I snipe? So I should play the Daiju Supreme. The reason I not playing there is because the reason I'm not playing it there is because I want it to be closer. I think, just in case he has Trader's Murmur. Born Again. Play the Born Again. Play the don't draw. Why? I probably lost because of that decision. Don't do that again. Like, why are we drawing with Born Again? Like, look at this. There's a short stag. There's a knight. There's a perfect grade. There's a I got you, this Supreme. Just put more damage on the board, bro. Except I'm talking to myself in the past. I'm joking. I'm at 14 HP. What is this? Dude, those represent 2 damage apiece. That's 6 damage coming in the face. Dude, he's sniping me down. Like, he's like... But putting a Born Again here would have... Putting a Born Again here is important. Like, it's really important. It's important. Like, dude, that's 6 damage. That's 6 damage. That's 2 damage. That's... Look, don't do this. I should play cards. So this is the fatal mistake. Because I took this deck and built it off of Petmax's deck, I felt that I should respect him and kill him immediately instead of playing cards. Because I didn't use any mana here. I could have... And that's a mistake. That is a huge mistake. We should be playing... And Petmax and I talked about this. I should literally be playing all the cards down. I should play my board again. I should block. I should literally block him. I should literally put this card here. Literally put the Daigaju Supreme here. Put Born Again somewhere here. Shinobi here. Because the ability... The Defy Death that just came out of nowhere stopped my turn and just put him... Now we're in trouble. That's 6. That's 6 damage. Wait. 9, 10, 11. There's 6 damage. 7 damage. 8, 9, 10. There's 10 damage. There's 10 damage in hand. As it is. That's 11, 12. Oh, my heart. My heart. 2. What? What? There's 2 racers in chat. Dude, that's pretty funny. So you go to number 2. Wait. You hit with a wait. You definitely don't slap. You definitely hit it with a one more hit of the lightning. So what's really crazy is this is not lethal is not possible. Dude, he has a lethal is not physically possible if this creature was blocking this lane. What? I remember losing that game and getting so tilted. Like I got tilted afterwards. I was just like, dude, that was a really good game, but I was like, and as we look at this season, that was the summary of the season. We're going to look at what's it ranked? So if you actually look at ranked, I just entered champion. Maybe like 200 games, but our opponent, Petmax, 543 wins, 191 losses. I'm not even following Petmax. How's it even possible? Thank you, God, for this game. And I'm going to pray, and I'm going to ask a couple things about the Mythgardian community. Well, God, thank you for this opportunity to play this season. Thank you for good opponents like Petmax who are helpful and willing to discuss wins and defeats. I pray for this upcoming Winter War expansion that it exceeds expectations and that a lot of people who've never heard about Mythgard can enjoy the game and breathe new life in the community. I pray that people become more creative, myself included, to not just net deck and copy people's decks, but to create new decks that can be meta shaking and really exciting, spicy stuff. Pray, God, that you help us enjoy the game as it's meant to be enjoyed, and to remember that losing is part of the game, and losing is what, if you can't lose, it wouldn't be fun. So just give us the ability to appreciate our wins and our losses, and to just keep thinking about what's our next best move, what's our next best play, and help us have a good work-life gaming balance, and other people as well, so that we can appreciate our hobbies without suffering and sacrificing other things in other areas of our life that are also important. I pray that you give us an innovative spirit to really just tinker and experiment, just deal with life, its problems, kind of like a card game. Just keep changing the deck, just keep working at it, just keep grinding, trying to figure out what works, share with people, just talk with people, take notes, and whenever we find something good, just share it with the world. And thank you that I'm part of this world, and I'm thankful that Mythgard is also part of my option set. I have a choice to play this game, and I'm really looking forward to Winter War, which is coming out like 2 days tomorrow. 2 days, 25th, I think. It's gonna be exciting. So God bless you guys, and take care. Have a good night. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Bye-bye.